Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to start with the morphology of flowering plant. And today we are going to study about the roots. So see, first of all, this is a seed. When the seed germinate, then it gives rise to, this is a plumule and this is your radicle. Okay. So this is your cotyledon of the seed. This is plumule which is going to develop into the shoot system. And this is radicle which is going to develop into the root system. Is it clear? So this radicle will develop into the root system. So today our focus will be here only on the root topic. Now try to understand. See, this is the seed when it is germinating. It is giving rise to, this is a primary root. Okay, radical root is always going and this is primary root. And then the branches are coming. This is, let us assume this is a soil. And now branches which are coming, they are coming in this order. This is your secondary branch, okay? Then this is your tertiary branch. So the first which is coming, this is your primary root, which is coming from the radicle. Then this is your secondary root. And this is your tertiary root. But if you check in the diagram carefully, primary root is always leading. Secondary is not able to compete with the primary, neither tertiary is able to compete with the primary. Are you understanding it? The primary root is always leading and the secondary and tertiary are not able to compete. Then such type of root system is known as taproot system. The taproot system is the system in which the root which is coming out from radicle is known as primary root and it is always leading. And the system made by the primary, secondary and tertiary together, it is known as taproot system, which is a feature of the dicot. So dicot plants will be showing the taproot system. Now see another type of plant. Now check the board. This is your soil and this is the primary root which is short-lived. Okay, primary root is short-lived and this is your stem area. This is the stem. So this is the stem and this is your primary root. Now the branches are coming from it. To check the diagram carefully, you're finding this is secondary branch. Okay, then it is your tertiary branch. So I think so branches are overtaking the primary. Primary is short-lived and slowly what we will find that they are coming, giving an appearance as if they are coming from the base of the stem. As if they are coming from the base of the stem. Finally, we are finding that the roots are coming from the base of the stem and the primary root is short-lived. Let me highlight it with different color. This is the primary root which is short-lived and then your secondary root is coming. Okay, this is your secondary root and tertiary root, all are coming and finally we are finding that now the roots are coming from the base of the stem. Let me use a different color so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now the roots are coming from the base of the stem. So these are the one which are coming from the base of the stem and such root system is known as fibrous root system. Fibrous root system and this system is common in monocot. Monocots are the one which are having fibrous root system and the dicots are having taproot system. Now there is another third type of root system which is not involving the radicle. So adventitious roots are those roots which does not come from the radicle, are those roots which do not arise from radicle but they arise from the part other than the radicle. Okay. Just like we see in the banyan tree, the hanging roots, which is coming from the shoot system. So these are known as adventitious roots. And as a result, adventitious roots will be made by both dicot plants as well as in the monocot plants. So both type of plants will be making the adventitious roots. Now let us study the region of the roots. Now see region of the root. See, this is the meristematic area. Meristematic area, you know very well. These are the one which are having the power of divisions. And meristematic area is covered with the help of root cap. Now, after this, you are finding this zone. Let me use with different color. Only imaginary with this is, okay. This is a region which is the cells are getting elongated. So this is known as zone of elongation. So this complete is known as region of elongation. After that will come the region of maturation. So this is the region of maturation. Now the cells have decided to behave as a parenchyma or collenchyma. So this is the region of maturation. Now from this region, we are finding lot of root hairs will be formed. So lot of root hairs we are making it this way because root hairs are only epidermal outgrowth. The root hairs are always epidermal outgrowth. But root branches are not epidermal, they are endogenous. So these are root hairs which are coming from the meristematic areas. Now see the question areas. What are the terms which the question they ask it? See, first of all, if you know in the root cap, very important line of the NCERT is that they are thimble-like structure. They are thimble-like structure. This is again very important question. If they ask, please you remember, thimble-like structure means they are focusing for the root cap. Okay, then question they ask with respect to proximal or with respect to distal. So my learning tips is कि always learn, I'll speak in Hindi. P means पीछे, okay? So proximal means पीछे. This is in Hindi I'm writing it. So simple, if suppose I am asking you who is at the proximal to the meristematic, means meristematic के पीछे कौन है? तो meristematic के पीछे you will give the answer elongation. Is it clear? If suppose, let me write it so that you can remember it also. Who is proximal to meristematic? Who is proximal to meristematic? So what will be your answer? Elongation. Your answer will come what? Answer will be your elongation. Is it clear? In Hindi, I'm just once again speaking it. If suppose I ask you, who is at the proximal to meristematic, you always remember meristematic के पीछे कौन है? पीछे आपका कौन आएगा? Elongation आएगा. Is it clear? Now, if suppose I ask you who is at the proximal to elongation, तो अब आपको बताना proximal to elongation कौन होगा, मतलब elongation के पीछे कौन होगा? Elongation के पीछे तब आपका आंसर जाएगा region of maturation. Is it clear? This one question language, I hope this will help you to learn the things. Or now you can learn in the opposite way. If I ask you distal, is it clear? Who is distal to elongation? Distal का मतलब elongation से दूर कौन है? तो आपका आंसर जाएगा meristematic. Is it clear? I'm writing one question language here. See, if I ask you distal to elongation, then your answer will go meristematic. Understood? I hope this will help you to learn it. You check the line of NCERT, then topic will become very easy for you. Proximal, just remember proximal. I hope remaining you can manage it. Is it clear? And this is the one learning tips I gave you here. Proximal means piche. In anatomy here, we have to use this term. Then we can easily solve the questions. Okay, now we will study the functions of the root system. Now the functions of the root system. First function you know very well, it is always absorption of water and mineral from the soil, and it is providing anchorage. Anchorage means support to the plant body, okay? So they are providing anchorage to the plant. Now this is another important fact. This is in the line of NCERT. Another function they are telling it is storage of food also, because no one will think about this question, and this is very important than question. It is a question area. And next function is synthesis of plant growth regulator. There will be 5 types of plant growth regulator, but we have to now just remember it. Root system is also responsible for synthesis of PGRs. Is it clear? Now we will be studying about the modifications of the taproot system and adventitious root system. Now see, these are the taproots modification. First, right now we are discussing about the storage form. The conical roots are seen made by the carrot. Okay, conical roots will be by carrot. It is making proper cone shape. That is why the name is given conical roots. Now, fusiform roots is made by the radish. Because why it is saying fusiform? Because if you see, it is thick only in the middle part and it is slightly tapering at both the ends. More tapering at the lower side, less tapering towards the upper side. Napiform example is your sugar beet. And another example is your turnip. Two examples are there, sugar beet and turnip. And napiform roots, if you see the diagram carefully, analyze it, they are swollen and spherical at the upper end and they suddenly go for tapering. Suddenly they go for tapering. Is it clear? Next is your tuberous root. The example of tuberous root is mirabilis. And here there is no proper shape. So these are the taproot modifications for the storage. Let me just give you the biological name also so that it will be easy for you to learn it. Carrot is also known as Daucus carota. Radish is also known as Raphanus sativus. Turnip is your Brassica repa. The scientific name, slowly it will help you to understand the entire plant kingdom, morphology, everything. Okay. And beetroot means sugar beet. Sugar beet, which is also known as beetroot. Biological name is Beta vulgaris. So this biological name, try to develop the habit of learning slowly. Okay, because this will be important for your competitive point and it will be helpful for your competitive exams then. So these are the taproot modifications for the storage. Now next modification of taproots are respiratory roots. If you see, generally the roots are positive geotropic. Positive geotropic means they are moving towards the gravity. But if you see in this diagram, you are finding these roots are not moving towards gravity. They are moving away from gravity. So these are your pneumatophores which are showing negative geotropic. Okay, so pneumatophores are showing negative geotropic. So respiratory roots are also known as pneumatophores and they are negative geotropic. And why they are coming negative geotropic? Because they are found in the marshy areas. Means they are found where the water logging is too much going on and the roots needs to respire. So when they are coming negatively geotropic, if you see here, there the pores are there and these pores are known as lenticels, which are meant for the gaseous exchange. So they are meant for gaseous exchange. Okay. Now next, if you see the examples, according to your NCERT, one example is Rhizophora. Rhizophora is a mangrove plant which is found in the marshy areas and they are having the negative geotropic roots which are known as pneumatophores. Another example which is not in the NCERT but you should know it, then is your Avicennia. And third example is Sonatia. These are the few examples of mangrove plants which are having pneumatophores. Next modification is your nodulated roots. Okay, so these are your nodulated roots. Nodulated roots means they are having the development of root nodules, and these root nodules development is because of the bacteria. Bacteria is doing it, and bacteria is doing it for nitrogen fixation. For nitrogen fixation. Is it clear? And which bacteria? Let me write it. Generally, the bacteria which are doing this work, these bacteria are rhizobium. The rhizobium is responsible for nitrogen fixation in legume plants. So they are doing nitrogen fixation in legume plants. So these are the few modification of the taproot system. Now let us discuss the modification of the adventitious roots. Now see, adventitious root modification, they are also doing the work for the storage. Now if you see the first diagram, this is a tuberous root, okay? And this tuberous root example is your sweet potato. This example is your sweet potato. If you see here, it is coming singly or with single only with no proper shape. But if you see the second diagram, fasciculated root, in this you are finding they are occurring in cluster. Okay, cluster is there. This is again in your NCERT diagram is there. And the example for this is asparagus and dahlia. Two examples are there. Please learn it. Asparagus and dahlia. Okay. Then next, moniliform. If you see the diagram carefully, you are finding it's a beaded appearance. Okay, they are beading at a regular interval. And for this, your example is your bitter gourd. Example is your bitter gourd. Another example is your grapes. So these are the two examples. Fourth type of modification you are seeing it is giving an appearance as if it's making a proper annulated ring-like structure. Okay. So these proper annulated ring-like structures you are finding in an epiac. Just let me write it properly. Wait. And next category, if you see, it is nodulose. Now, remember, right now we completed nodulated, and this is nodulose. Don't get confused with these two. Nodulated is your taproot modification, which is responsible for doing nitrogen fixation, and these are nodulose means only and are getting swelling up. An example is your mango ginger. Example is your mango ginger. So these are the few examples of adventitious roots which are meant for storage. Is it clear? Now let us study other modification also. Now see, these are the adventitious roots which are meant for support. Okay. So this is first is your prop root. Prop roots are also known as pillar root. And if you see the next diagram, this is your stilt root. Stilt roots are also known as brace root. If you see carefully the diagram, the prop roots are, if you see, they are coming vertically, they are hanging down this way only. They are just hanging down. They are not making any shapes or whatever it is. And they are seen in the Ficus bengalensis, that is banyan tree. It is seen in Ficus bengalensis, that is banyan tree. Okay, let me write it separately for you. Ficus bengalensis, that is known as banyan tree, and they are just hanging roots like this way, and they are providing the support. But if you see here in this diagram, check carefully, they are coming from the lower node only. Stilt root arise only from the lower node. Okay, they arise from lower node, and they give a tent-like appearance. So first of all, they arise from the lower node, and they give a tent-like appearance. Tent-like appearance. And they both work, both prop root as well as stilt root, they are meant for this support. Another, you can highlight the difference ki prop root will be generally made by the dicot plants and stilt root will be made by the monocot plants. So example you can remember, example for dicot I have already given right now. That is prop root example is your Ficus bengalensis. And here you can remember the example is your sugarcane. Common example is sugarcane. Is it clear? Another you can write like maize also, maize plant, maize, sugarcane, and third example is your pandanus, which is also known as screw pine. So these are the two examples of the adventitious roots which are providing the mechanical support. Apart from the storage and mechanical supports, some other modifications are also there. Let us see. Now see the root modifications, adventitious root modifications for some other functions also. For example, we are finding these are the floating roots or respiratory roots. Okay, they are meant for the floating also and helping in respiration. So respiratory roots in plant that is known as Jussia. Okay, so in Jussia you are finding these are the floating roots which are present. Now second example, if you see here in money plant. Okay, money plant is also known as, biologically it is known as pothos. This is a biological name of money plant. They are having the climbing roots. The money plants are having the climbing roots which help them to climb on top of the another plant. Another type of modification is shown by the few epiphytes, for example, orchid. Okay, these are the one epiphytes. They are the having special type of roots that is known as hygroscopic root. Hygroscopic roots are those roots which will absorb the moisture from the atmosphere. Okay, so you can see in the diagram aerial roots. These aerial roots are also known as velamen roots. These are known as velamen roots. They will be absorbing moisture from the atmosphere and it will be shown by the epiphytes. Epiphytes are those plants which live on top of another plant only for sunlight. They live on another plant only for sunlight. They are not parasite. You will not call them as parasite because they are not taking any nourishment from them. They live on another plant only for sunlight. Okay. So these are the other modifications with respect to adventitious roots. Now let us see further. Now if you're seeing in the first diagram, you're finding these are your buttress root. These are known as buttress root. If you check carefully, these are laterally compressed root. These are laterally compressed root will be seen in your peepal tree. Okay, we can see such types of roots in the peepal tree, and there we call it, peepal tree is also known as Ficus religiosa. Peepal tree is also known as Ficus religiosa. So these are known as buttress root or laterally compressed root seen in Ficus religiosa. In very old peepal tree we will find, not in the young one. This is a biological name of the peepal tree. Okay, beta. Up till here, I hope topic is clear to you. Now, next, if you see, generally the root will not do the function of photosynthesis. But here, if you see, one example is there, that is Tinospora. This is a plant in which the roots are doing the function of photosynthesis, and such roots are known as assimilatory root. So assimilatory roots are those roots which do the work of photosynthesis. And after photosynthesis, they will store such type of material also. Is it clear? So these are, one example is there, that is your Tinospora. One more example is there, let me just explain you, is your parasitic root. Parasitic roots are also known as sucking roots. They are known as hostorial roots. because the such sucking roots are known as haustoria, and it will be shown by those plants which are parasites. For example, your complete root parasite. Complete root parasite example is your Rafflesia. Complete root parasite example is Rafflesia. And complete stem parasite. Complete stem parasite. This example is your Cuscuta. Cuscuta is a complete stem parasite. Okay, complete root parasite is Rafflesia. They are having haustorial roots, and complete stem parasite is Cuscuta. So these are the few examples of your adventitious root modification. Now let me make